Thank you very much. Good morning. Oh, yeah, it's morning, isn't it? Oh. Creative mornings. Oh, not right for me. Creative evenings. I might be able to do that. So I work for Link & Co. Woo. I must admit, that sounded a bit like a confession. Oh, no, I work for Link & Co. Wow. How many people, I can just about see you, how many people here have heard of Link & Co.? Okay, a few. How many people have heard of Link & Co. before they registered for this? Still a few. How many people had heard of Link & Co. a month ago? Wow, it leaked. So Link & Co. is a car company. It's a brand new car company. It launched last month, October the 20th, October the 19th, which is brilliant. It's very exciting. Not many people launch a new car company. We did that last month, which is weird because really the world doesn't need a new car company. Over the last 50 years, the number of car companies have been dwindling. I come from the UK. We had lots of them. We had Singer and Alvis, Austin, Morris. All these car companies have gone. Then Germany, several car companies disappeared. Sweden, there was Saab. Do you remember Saab? So it's not been a great time for car companies. They've been disappearing. I used to work for I live here in Sweden. I used to work for the other Swedish car company. I used to work for Volvo. And genuinely, every now and again, we would have a conversation. I mean, Volvo is almost a boutique brand in the big scheme of things. There are some huge car companies out there that have merged together. Not everyone knows that, BMW owns Mini and Rolls-Royce, and Volkswagen owns Bentley and Audi and Seat and Skoda, and they're all really merged companies. So in Volvo, it's now a boutique brand. So when I was given the opportunity to leave Volvo, nice, safe, reliable company, and start a new car brand, you might wonder why I took that decision. So a lot of what I'm going to say today is about this whole idea of being able to change things, being able to disrupt stuff. I don't know what you do for a living, but if you ever thought, well, I know how to do this properly. I know the world has changed. I can do this better. But you've got all that baggage around you. So there are some things that you need to do to be able to change things. And I'm probably going to protect my job by talking a little bit about China and Geely. Again, Geely is a car company. I'm not sure how many people of you have heard of Geely before, but it's quite a big Chinese car company. Geely came into my life a little while ago when they bought Volvo cars. And we expected them to really disrupt us, which wasn't really the case. Geely has been a really good parent for Volvo Car Corporation. Geely, a little bit of history, Geely means lucky. And I genuinely think they're living up to their name. So Geely was founded by a gentleman, Chairman Lee. He started life as an itinerant, basically as a peasant farmer, traveling from farm to farm, getting work in China. And he had ambition. In his office, there's a picture of him on one side with a bicycle and a camera. He started a wedding photography business. And from there, you go to the picture on the other side of his desk, which is of him signing the contract to buy Volvo cars. He is running a private company. So this is a guy with a bit of vision. He is used to taking risks, to coming up with new ideas, to implementing them and seeing them be successful. And I genuinely think that that's one very important ingredient of being able to disrupt, being able to innovate, having that behind you. Chairman Lee and the Geely Automotive, when they bought Volvo, they did another quite brave thing. They set up another company. The company's called CEFT. I don't expect you've heard of that. It's China Europe Vehicle Technologies. and they're based in Lindholmen, in the other big Swedish city, Göteborg. And their job was to build a car platform. So I brought with me a picture of a car platform. This is a car platform for non-automotive. It's like the chassis. And this car platform was to be used under Volvo cars and under Geely cars. And here again, they brought in a bunch of engineers who quickly rushed to the company because they were given an opportunity. I mean, this again was a completely blank piece of paper. They could innovate. They could do all the things they wanted to do better, differently, more modern, to build this new platform. And it won't be a number that really resonates with you, but they took this from drawings to reality in 3 years. And in the car industry, that's unheard of. I mean, cars take 6, 8, 9, 10 years to be developed, new platforms. And they were able to do this by leveraging the modern tools. So they used computer-aided engineering, computer-aided design. They did a lot of their testing and verification in the virtual world. And they brought a pretty good platform. I was, just before the launch, speaking to the CEO, and he was passionately talking about the fact that they, starting from scratch, could say, right, we'll have the handling of a BMW, we'll have the safety of a Volvo, and we'll have the connectivity of Silicon Valley. So that's brilliant, really inspiring. But, I mean, as good as that looks to geeks like me, you need a top hat. That's what we call it in the industry, a top hat. And again, and this is the top hat, this is what the car looks like. Innovation. So Geely Group set up Geely Design, and they brought in Peter Horbury, who's got a long history of design in the car industry, used to work for Jaguar Land Rover, then was their head designer for Volvo. And they gave his new team, and it literally started with 2 people and has grown to have an office in Göteborg and in Barcelona and Los Angeles and Shanghai. And that team grew because they were given an incredible remit: design a car. So why is that strange? Well, normally in car companies, you've got heritage. You know, if you're going to design a Volvo, it has to look a bit like Volvos from the past. There are constraints, there are things that you have to do. And they had, again, a completely blank piece of paper, which enabled them to innovate, and it enabled them to think very differently. And they designed a rather beautiful looking car. Okay. But cars today are all, I shouldn't say this out loud, they're all about the same. So, I mean, you know, 4-wheel, steering wheel, of course, but they've got power windows and air conditioning and cruise control, and fundamentally, they're all exactly the same. So someone chimed in, what is it that differentiates one car from another? What's the deciding factor? Yeah, actually, I won't ask, just in case you come up with something better. It's brand. Brand. I mean, if a BMW is that different from a Volvo or an Audi or a Mercedes or a Kia or a Skoda, I'm not sure. What really makes them stand apart, gives them their price point, targets them at a customer group, it's their brand. The brand is their personality. And at the beginning of this, I suggested that the world doesn't need a new car brand. So, here we go. When myself and my team were brought on board, Alain Visser, who's the head of our company, was previously the Senior Vice President for Sales and Marketing in Volvo Car Corporation, we had quite a challenge. I mean, I'm fairly confident that people in this room will have looked at things that Apple are doing and Google are doing. They'll have read The Verge. They know that the car industry is just on the brink of disruption. And it hasn't happened yet. I mean, the car industry has managed to escape so far from the digital revolution without really very much more than the odd sort of change to a website and an experiment or two in e-commerce. But I mean, whatever the reasons are, a complex supply chain, a very, very strange customer perception of your products, it doesn't mean you're going to escape forever. And industries everywhere are being disrupted. I mean, when was the last time you took your photos in to be developed, or left the house to hire a video? And I know we all know that, and we'll have said it before and heard it before, but it is a bit strange. It wasn't very long ago. Industries disappear overnight. So, you're a marketing team, you've been given a really good product that isn't really differentiated from the rest of the market. You know that the entire industry rests more than probably any other on brand. What are you going to do? Well, again, we were lucky enough to start with a blank piece of paper. It was all open to us. What would we say about this product? So like any marketing team, we got the tools of the trade out, Post-it notes and a whiteboard, and we started brainstorming. Came up with different ideas of what to do, and then we stripped it back down to basics, and we said, okay, all right, what is a car in the first place? What does it do? What's it for? What's its purpose? And we came up with a statement. Statement is this, or something like it. We wiped the whiteboard down. I can't remember it exactly, but a car is for connecting people to places and experiences and other people. And that sounded like a good statement. We put it on the board and we felt good about it. We'd done something constructive until someone pointed out that this pretty much just sounds like the tagline for a mobile phone company. Okay, back down to earth. But it's true. And you know what? That was a really good moment. Obviously, our ideas have been trashed, but it's true. I mean, both things are true. Cars are for connecting people to places and experiences and other people, but so are phones. And the car is now operating in a very different world. It's operating a world where people have smartphones. So, actually, I'm going to tell you a story. So, I've got a 10-year-old son, okay, and he's just inherited his first iPhone, which in a way sounds terribly decadent. I've given my son an iPhone. But at the same time, I don't know what I'd do without it. I mean, he's now going to school on his own, he gets the bus, he can check in. If necessary, I can see where he is. If he gets into trouble, he can call us. It's an amazing tool. And at the same time, he's super proud of owning his iPhone. It's really good. And he said the other day, Dad, did you have an iPhone when you were a little boy? So, who's got kids? You sort of know, you know what he was doing, don't you? He's sort of poking a little bit, saying, "You're old, you are." It was like, I asked my dad, sort of the same age, was the world black and white when you were a kid? But I'd got him on this one, hadn't I? Yeah, so he's 10 years old. So I could say, no. So we were both born before the iPhone. That's quite an amazing thing, isn't it? There was no iPhone, there was no smartphone when my son was a little boy. And that's 9 years. 9 years is about the time, as I've said, to take a car from concept to customer. 9 years. And 7 iterations of the iPhone later, the smartphone has changed the world more than the car has in the last 100 years, probably. So we were onto something, weren't we? I mean, this is disruption. This is disrupting our industry. This is what might overtake us and overcome us. So if we were to enter this market, we had to decide whether we were going to put our head in the sand and just hope it all goes away and that the car industry will carry on as it's been going along, or we can put our head above the parapet and take it on, see what we can do with it. And obviously, being here today, you can work out which way we went. So, first question. What is it about the smartphone that makes it smart? Or the clicker that makes it work? Oh, good. It's communication, reliable communication. No, it's not. That's just a problem with this. I can tell you, I have an answer for this. What is it about the smartphone that makes it smart? It is the touch screen. It's the touch screen. Why is it the touch screen? Think about it. Those of you who are old enough, do you remember before the touch screen we used to have mobile phones? And then the touch screen comes along, and now we've got smartphones. And it's not just a gimmick. This is really something. The touchscreen is a reconfigurable interface. Yeah? It's not fixed at the time of purchase. You can change it as you go along. You can upgrade a product while it's in the market, give it new functions, new purposes. Okay, so the touchscreen has given us apps. Yeah, apps. Apps are probably the thing that really changed the car industry. Apps changed the car industry maybe later than we were expecting, but they're continuing to change it. Apps, let's see, this one. Who knows what this one is? Oh, you can say it out loud. You don't have to put your hand up. It's not school. What is this? Yeah. Spotify has probably changed the way we listen to music, but it's also changed the music we listen to, arguably. It's an app. Who knows what this one is? Yeah, not so many people admitted to that, did they? Yeah, it's Tinder. Tinder has changed the way that we meet people, date. Yes. This one? Uber, yes, everyone knows this one. Uber, of course, has changed my industry. Uber has changed the way that we move around. Okay, so we will have a touchscreen in the car. I missed a couple of slides. They were quite nice. You can get the presentation off the internet. We will have a touchscreen in the car. With a touchscreen in the car and a connection to the internet, we will be able to have apps. Okay. There's a couple of things to say about this. And first of all, the touchscreen and apps, but touchscreen. So touchscreen in the car is a little bit of an awkward experience, a bad user interface, really, for a car. It seems to make sense, but, you know, touchscreen, you can't feel it. You can't just reach out and find out what it does like you used to be able to do with buttons. It's reconfigurable, that's brilliant. But there's a danger, because your sort of hands and eyes are really supposed to be doing something else, for the time being at least, while you're in a car. Keep your eyes on the road. So we're pushed with this touchscreen. We want to use it, but it's a slightly awkward customer. Now, we need to create new interaction design, and this is pushing our designers quite a bit. I'm in the process of doing it. And of course, what we're going to use to help the touchscreen sort of feel right in the car space and be safe, we're going to use natural voice. Right. So, natural voice. Will we be speaking to our cars in the near future? I've been doubted when I say this, but if I tell you, and this is again another true story, my 10-year-old, we caught him the other day asking Siri for help with his maths homework. Right? Now, I probably wouldn't reach for Siri to help maths homework, but honestly, 10-year-old maths questions, Siri is pretty good at them. Yeah? Okay. So, if we're going to have voice, I mean, people here will have a car with voice control, and normally it is absolutely appalling. If we're going to have voice, then we need an internet connection. And that internet connection has to be permanent. So most cars, all of your cars, will have an internet connection as soon as you bring your smartphone in with you. And you're able to stream music over the speakers of the car. And I was with a designer the other day and an engineer, and we were off to our other site, and they put their Samsung over the top of the satellite navigation of their car, because the phone's satellite navigation had a better connection to the internet and was a better, more up-to-date map. Okay, so we have to put an internet in our cars that is permanent, and we will. Every single car will have a modem in it, a TEM, a telemetry unit in the cars. Okay, now, if you have an internet connection and a touchscreen, you have the possibility to create apps in the car. But again, I'm often asked why we would want to create our own apps in the car. I mean, there are perfectly good app stores out there, and in the car you can have CarPlay and Android Auto, and these work pretty well. Well, the answer is that apps in the phone have done an amazing thing. They've reconfigured not just the touchscreen, but they've been able to reconfigure, or people have been able to reconfigure the functions and the sensors in the phone to do different things. So if we're to have a car with a touchscreen and an internet connection, then we need to leverage the different sensors and the different data in a car, and therefore we need our own app store. So that's what we're going to do. So I need to give you an example to bring this to life, and our engineers have created what we call the shared locks. So, in the car industry, we have a lot of acronyms. We have one that you may not have heard is PEPs, passive entry and passive start. So all our cars are going to have PEPs, which means that you carry around with you radio frequency identity, and through digital encryption, you can walk up to your own car. You've probably already got this in many of your cars. Open the door, get in, start the car. You don't have to bring out a physical key. Okay. So the engineering team then used that and the App Store and created the ability to upload another lock into your car. And why would you want that? Well, think about it. Recently, hopefully, most of you took your car in to have the winter wheels replaced, right? Which is a pretty quick process, but it is a bit of a pain in the neck. You have to book it, you have to go. Or did you have a car serviced? And you had to take it in and talk them into giving you a loan car, and or getting the bus back to the office. Now you don't need to do that. You just upload the shared locks of the service team into your car. You don't have to be there. They come and pick your car up, take it away, service it, bring it back. And you can do that from your smartphone. You could be on holiday, and without putting down your cocktail, book your car in for a service, and when you come back to the airport, there's your car waiting for you, all maintained. Fantastic. So, that's it then. So we've created this fantastic platform, and we're going to create a disruptive brand, and we're going to change the world. Bit of an overclaim, I think. So, all right, everything I've spoken to you is pretty good, and it's very unusual to see all of those things, a big touchscreen and a car app store, 100% internet connectivity. It is unusual to see all those things in one place. And shareable locks is a new innovation, but we've been here before. We've been here before with the smartphone industry. I mean, in the boardroom of Nokia, I understand that they discussed whether to put in touchscreens, and Eriksson, if I'm right, invented the App Store for phones. And that was all there before Apple came along with the iPhone. It was all available. I mean, there was a couple of things going on. Nokia didn't manage to make the sort of decision to move to the touchscreen. They didn't think that the user would want that. They didn't see a little bit further forwards to what Apple saw, the reconfigurable interface. But still, the iPhone wasn't so different from anything else that had come before it. So what was it that they did differently that we should think about doing differently? And here is the big thing. or here is what I think is the big thing, Apple were probably one of the first people to open up for outside innovation. They realized that however clever they could be, there's always someone with a different perspective out there. Out there is where all the great ideas are, giving the chance for other people to give input without restriction. And so that's what we plan to do as well. So we will open up our connectivity platform, our app store. We'll open it up for other people to have good ideas. Now, that's a pretty hard thing to do within a company. That's a very bold brand statement in the car industry, which is a bit of a dinosaur. And it's why the co. And this is a very deliberate thing. It is not just marketing speak. So the co, I assume you think it's for company. It's not. It's for mutual. If you look up co in the Oxford English Dictionary, it is, yes, company, and it's cobalt, I think, as a chemical symbol, but it's also mutual. It's a derivative of words like collaborate and cooperate, and possibly company. I should have looked that up, I don't know. Connectivity, maybe. So we put that word in our brand name to make a statement to ourselves and the future people that come along as the organization gets bigger and innovation gets harder. Because at the moment, we're pretty small. We can take decisions. We can move on a dime. We can discuss stuff and execute. So there we have it. We have a car, and we have our open platform. The open platform was created for us by Eriksson, a big Swedish company. Super innovative, a really good team, but of course if we're going to have a brand new brand with a lot of connected cars, we need some credibility behind us, not only real credibility, guys that can do this sort of thing, but brand credibility. We're working with some other people behind the scenes as well. We've been working with Microsoft, and we've been working with Alibaba. And let me tell you why. So we took this whole idea one step forwards, and we thought about our business. We're a brand new business. We don't have any legacy. We don't have any systems. We don't have a platform to be able to create all our business on. We don't have email. Yeah? So we had to build all of that from scratch. And we went out and we worked with some of the big guys in the industry. We worked with Microsoft because they've got out-of-the-box tools, software as a solution, stuff that you can host in the cloud. And we worked with Alibaba because they can create super quickly amazing user interfaces. And we will create what we call, and there must be a better word for this, an omni-channel commercial platform. Omni-channel commercial platform. It means that we will take everything from the first inquiry to the customer making their first interest known and registering their details with us, to hopefully buying a car or using a car or renting a car or test driving a car, to owning a car, servicing the car, having problems with the car, coming in, having those problems fixed, and ultimately selling their car. Everything all in one system. The call center, the service people, the retail stores, everything. Now, that in itself is a bit of an innovation, but what we really want to do is open that platform up as well for other people to innovate on, to white label a commercial system. So if you want to create a pizza delivery business, you should be able to use components of our system, an app store, the web portal, the payment solution. You should be able to leverage that to run your business. And this idea is in the early stages, but I needed to come up with some tangible examples to be able to explain this to audiences as lovely as you. So we handed it over to our sort of native creatives and asked them to see what they could come up with. And they came up with by putting together all the components, the apps for the phone, the apps in the car, the internet connection, shareable locks, payment solution, payment platform, call center. They came up with what we call share mode. Share mode. So imagine this. You park your car outside the office. And when you stop, your car can work out, because of its internet connection, where it is. It knows what time it is. And it can work out what you're likely to do next, which is spend 8 hours in the office. And it offers you the option to put your car into share mode. This button comes up on the screen in the car. If you press this button, it gives you the option to select some time, and you can say when you need your car back, and you can also say who you want to be able to see your car. But once it's pressed, those people can turn up and use your car while you are not. Okay. So that's a big thing. That is what's sort of disrupting the car industry, and we're going to take it on head on. So, this is the other secret. Cars are quite expensive, but you rarely use them. They sit around for 95% of the time outside your home, outside an office, in a car park somewhere, unused. All that money just sitting there doing nothing. So maybe not everybody will want to share their brand new Lynk & Co car, but there are different use cases for this. So maybe when it becomes a second-hand car, it'll be a more attractive purchase if you can make a little revenue from owning it. Or maybe it can just be a way for delivery drivers not to have to carry around bunches of keys. Or possibly an apartment building here in Stockholm, in the center of town. Is everybody always out in their car at the same time? Maybe not. Maybe it's a more efficient way, both for space and for money and for convenience, to have a smaller fleet of cars that anybody can use when they need them. So, these are ideas. And I'm generally, and I was actually, so we launched the car and I was talking to the press about this, and I read the article about myself. It's very sensitive, but you read the article and you say, he was very vague about what was going to happen next. So I thought I was quite clear about what was going to happen next. We are going to open up for innovation. See, we are a pretty creative bunch. We're quite proud of our creativity, and we're quite small, and we intend to stay that way so that we can make quick and good decisions. But at the same time, we're not so arrogant that we don't realize that whatever we come up with, there are going to be better ideas out in the real world. So we're going to start an initiative which we call Collabs. Collabs are online and offline innovation workshops, which we will have with coders, of course, but just with average people, maybe schools, creative communities. It'll be, coding. I'm not really allowed to use the word hackathon around a car, but you know what I mean. And we will hope to create new ideas, new services, new concepts, create an ecosystem around the car. Make this car part of the ecosystem, the Internet of Things. Cool, eh? It's great when you've got a marketing department behind you. So if I get the opportunity to speak to the journalist again and he says, what's next for Lynk & Co., I am going to say, it's up to you. So there we go. Well,